it's not relief. That's excitement. You know, to now be part of more of a medium-term future rather than just a short term. But in saying that, we've been in conversation right throughout. You know, the stuff we're doing with the footy club, both on and off the field, is tracking in the direction that it needs to. We've worked through a lot of things that take priority over my contract, and we've worked through those really well. So this is just a nice way to get around the playing group that have also signed on over the last couple of years and now be part of that going forward. Oh, look, to be honest, the details of it all, I want to be part of the future of this footy club because I'm really confident that the people we have here at the moment are going to take it forward and we're going to see success sooner rather than later. You get the right people around a footy club, you create the environment that we're creating at the moment, then you know, with a little bit of luck on your side, things turn pretty quickly. And we've seen that. We've seen that over the last few years. You know, massive amount of respect for Melbourne and what they've been able to do and how quickly they've been able to turn that around. And they're the best team in the comp at the moment. That's what we're striving to do.
What does it mean?
Well, it's always ongoing. Obviously, with Tim coming on board and John, you know, joining the footy club, those relationships are really important for me as a coach. And we've been working through a number of different things over the last 6 to 12 months around what this club's going to prioritise, what it is we need to do going forward, and one of those was my contract. So it's a small thing in the bigger scheme of things. You know, the best part about this is we've got a lot of good people, and I'm now privileged to be one of those going forward.
What does it mean that they've actually gone early on giving you a new contract? You know, they could have waited to do it now. What does it mean to you personally?
Well, from a personal point of view, it gives me some confidence in that we're heading in the right direction, and I'm part of that. Yeah, it's amazing what some confidence can do for an individual, but at the same time, as I mentioned before, it also gives my coaching group, our players, a feeling of empowerment. We feel like we're all together, we're going forward. Yeah, so from a footy club point of view, I think it's a good thing for us.
There's been a lot of sort of distraction off the field of the club over the past few years. Moving forward, can fans expect a bit more stability with you?
Look, I think every club's gone through their challenges over the last few years. We talk about an environment, professional sports being challenged like everyone has in society. So, yep, we've worked through challenges, and we've done that really well as a football club. So, yep, this gives us stability going forward, as it does when we sign on new players and new staff.
Nicksy, how do you sum up your first couple of years? Do you get benchmarks you want to hit?
Yeah, from a benchmarking point of view, there's a lot of things we're looking to hit. You know, from a development off field to a development on field. When we look at the draft coming up, it's amazing how we have conversations around all these different targets we're looking to hit. It changes throughout the year. We've just come out of a draft where we felt like, our guys performed really well. Our list management were able to bring in some fantastic players to add to our group that we feel is already strong, both on and off field. We'll continue to try and hit KPIs, and we set those reasonably high. But by no means are we locking into, we need to be here in 6 months' time. It's a big picture. It's a longer journey.
We know you're rebuilding the list, and your fans obviously want finals again. How far away do you think this is from?
Yeah, the famous question, the F question. Look, you're never that bad and you're never that good. It's one of my mottos. It's the game turns really quickly. 1 year you can be winning 7 games, and the next year you can be fighting it out. We got a lot to learn, and we've learned a lot over the last 2 years. And you do that by going through challenges, as you mentioned. You learn from making mistakes. You also learn from winning games of footy as well. So last year was huge for our young side. We won some games that some would have expected we weren't going to win. We probably lost some that we felt like we could have got across the line with that little bit more experience. But we'll keep working. And I know I haven't answered your question because it's one I can't tell you how good Freo are going to be this year. I know that they're going to have worked hard. I know they've got a fantastic list, so we could go through every club in the comp. We're looking after what we can do, and the boys today trained the house down. They've done that now for a couple of weeks, and we've had the whole group back. So with a bit of luck and things on our side, our guys will give it a crack.
You got a full squad out there now. Nicksy, anyone come back looking any different in any direction?
Well, a lot of them look different. Yeah, they've done a lot of work. I think a lot of clubs across the league have, to be fair. COVID's challenged us in some ways, and what that has done is kept a lot of guys around. So our group's trained together for, the last 2 or 3 months. They've worked really hard. Darren coming on board, tested them out today. But there are some guys that have changed their physical appearance. They look a lot stronger and a lot fitter than they did last year. Some have worked on their endurance. So it's a credit to our group. They've gone away and done the work. That doesn't guarantee anything though. There's now we've got to continue to work right through to round one.
I just point out one individual, Crouchy, he's
Yeah.
getting around. Where's he at in
Yeah, and Crouchy's, well, he looked fantastic today, but we've got to be really careful, and as does he. He's a super competitor, and this is going to take some time. He's coming back, from a substantial fair bit of work he's had done. We won't rush that, and he's got plenty of time. He will want to play round 1 and 2 and every round throughout the year. He's got enough time to get himself right for round 1, but at the same time, we don't want to push that too hard and make a mistake, trying to make it happen too early. But watching today, he looks fantastic. He's moving well. Pedler was out there doing a little bit more work. Junior Miller was in amongst some drills today again. He's been doing that now for a couple of weeks. So the guys that have been under a little bit of an injury cloud or coming through rehab are in pretty good condition.
What have you seen of the early impact of Darren so far?
Apart from some nervousness from some of the players prior to him arriving, Darren brings a wealth of knowledge. He's been there and he's experienced it at some of the highest levels across the world. So I think it's going to be great. At this point, the boys are only just settling back in, so it'll take some time for Darren to sit down with some of our players and give them a little bit of his knowledge that he's built up over the years. But look, he's worked with our coaching group as well, just around some of the detail that he's seen. He's come off a team that won the premiership last year, so he's able to bring some of that IP and some of what they did really well as a group and bring it in and do a comparison next to what we're doing at the moment.
How do you feel that you've changed as a coach over the past two seasons?
As a coach, or more as a person, I believe that it's about being the person you are. I listen a lot more now. I think you slowly learn that you don't know everything. But I'd say that's happened over more than 2 years. That's been about a decade. I've got a lot of trust in the group that we've put together. As I mentioned before, we've not just coaching staff, high performance staff, medical staff. I'm really confident that we've got a great group of people working at the moment, for a common goal. So it's nice to be able to sort of sit back and allow them to work the way they work. Darren's one of those, and that goes right up to our board as well. We've got an outstanding board now that are driving what it is, to prioritise others and driving exactly our values. So I'm confident with everyone on the same page that success will be here before we know it.
Maybe then, when you first came a bit, too keen to maybe not delegate stuff out. Is that kind of something that you've learnt over this past couple of years?
Oh no, I think when you first arrive at a footy club, if you're talking the last couple of years, there's a bit of a feeling out period where you work through, who's on board and who's going to be there for the long stay. We've done a fair bit of work in that space, and COVID's forced us to make a lot of decisions as well. So as it sits at the moment, we've got a fantastic group of people, as I said, and that's the base. That's what we'll build off. The environment is something that we're working on, and we'll get there.
New contract, mate, take us through process and where
Great day for our club. Nicksy's been a coach for us for the last 2 years, and there have been some challenging times, COVID times. But what we've seen in that period is that genuine improvement in our team, improvement in our list, and there's a genuine buy-in from our players, our coaches, our staff, and the total administration. So I feel like he's the right person to take us forward. He's going to build some sustained success, and we thought it was the right time to back him in as a leader and take us for the next 3 years. So it's an important day. The coach extension is a very important appointment for us as a club.
you know Clark out better than anyone. All the links about waiting and see what you can do. Is that ever
That was never an option. Like, I've been at this club for 9 months, and what I've seen is, like I said before, genuine buy-in from our group. He's creating a great culture, a selfless culture about prioritising others, and we can see genuine improvement from our group. And because we've got the right leader here, I wanted to be a leader who backs the right person in, and he's going to deliver sustained success for our footy club over a long period of time.
Who's makes the call? Sounds like it's the sort of thing where you all sat down and you got up with about 30 seconds
Oh, look, it is a group decision. This isn't one person, but it has built over time. Like, we had some challenges. We had 20 and 21. There were some challenging times. But even through hard times, we saw what type of leader he is. And he led from the front. He's got the full support of the playing group, the full support of the board. And this is a board decision as well. We chatted as a group to the board in September. Made the decision to look to extend, and we've been negotiating the contract over the last period of time, and we wanted to make the announcement, which we thought was important, on the first day of pre-season for our entire group.
So why now? I guess not later, given you have time with this contract expiring.
Well, like I said before, if you've got the right man for the right job, we wanted to back him in. He's the right leader for us, and we support that. And we thought, what a day to announce. So we could have probably announced last week, because the expectation was our entire playing group would be here today. But because they've volunteered their times, every single player was at training on Wednesday and Friday of last week. So even that alone shows the commitment of this group to get better, and they support what Matthew Nicks is bringing.
Wins and losses obviously not a factor in this. The club's only won 10 games in the last 2 years. That's not a factor at this point in time.
When you commit to a rebuild, you've got to understand that nothing's linear. There were 3 wins in 2020 and 7 wins last year. What we've seen is improvement in our playing group, and we expect that over the next period of time. We just want to play a brand of footy over the next small period that our members, fans and supporters can be proud of, and that's what we're aiming to deliver, and then hopefully success will follow.
When does the rebuild end, and when does the pressure start now, and wins and losses do become a factor?
Good question. I don't want to put a number on it right at the moment, but the focus in the next 12 months is improvement in the playing group. But yes, there is a point where we need to be successful on the field and push for finals, and that's not in the not too distant future.
The fixtures set to come out this week. I mean, what are you expecting regarding the fixtures from the perspective?
We're pushing really hard to get some strong home games. We'd like to play some marquee time slots against some potential big Victorian clubs, and just get an opportunity to get our members and fans back to Adelaide Oval and enjoy the type of style that we want to bring.
Something I guess we can't talk about every year, the showdown. Do you think it would be a Friday night match? Do you think we could get a Friday prime time match?
Well, what I've seen is that it is just a massive rivalry. It's a big game. It's probably the biggest game in South Australia. So we think it's deserving of a marquee time slot. We're pushing with the AFL to try to get that, and we're going to really try to strive hard to get a good key marquee time slot for the showdown that's going to get announced later this week.
So we put in, I guess, a formal request, or how does that work?
Yeah, we put in a formal submission for a home showdown to be played in a marquee time slot, and we're pushing hard, and we're hopeful that can come through in the next few days.
Is there any update on board member Nick Tuckos and I guess his vaccination status?
I don't want to give any specifics around individuals. I understand the interest, but yeah, I won't be giving any further update on that.
Does the club sort of start getting in SAL, SA government year anytime soon regarding upping the crowd a bit next year? How does that work? Do you guys do anything? Do you try and do anything?
Yeah, look, we can work with Adelaide Oval and SA Health, but at the end of the day, it is their decisions. We can support them. Fortunately for once, cricket is first cab off the rank, so we can see how successful the Adelaide Test is over the next couple of weeks. The expectation, I think, is 35,000. We're hopeful for a massive crowd for us that's close to that 52 for round 1. But we will work with SA Health and Adelaide Oval, and whatever the requirements are, we'll deal with, but we will push as hard as we can.
The Crows player who was recently taken to the hospital, is there any update there, and is the club continuing to get around him as well?
The Samful player, look, in terms of medical information, we can't provide any, because of the private information, I can't provide any update on that.